Hello, and welcome to this Trickjumping guide. In this video, I will explain a lot of the terms or acronyms that we use, and how to do some of the more complicated tech which the game does not teach you. This will cover a lot of stuff, so nothing will be explained in maximum detail. If you are looking for one specific thing, check the timestamps in the description or the pinned comment. Just a quick note, I also will not be explaining how to do the movement in the action guide. But if you want that, Shoni recently released a video covering it, as well as some stuff I will mention here. Basic jump types. There are three basic types of jumps that we use. Long jumps, abbreviated as LJ, have a set, kind of slowish speed, but fall slowly. Triple jumps, often abbreviated as TJ or just shortened to triple, give you a lot of height and can get a lot of distance as well if you do them out of a roll. Another thing abbreviated as TJ is trick jump, although it's usually not a problem given some context which is being said. Vaults are when you go into Cappy from a grounded state. For trick jumping, a vault can be performed in two different ways. First is a normal vault, sometimes abbreviated as NV. This is done by throwing plus holding on Cappy, jumping, ground pounding, and roll boosting by pressing the other Capthrow button. This method is possible on any controller type, however it can be more difficult if you don't have enough room. The second method is an up-down vault, often abbreviated as UDV. To do this, you up throw and hold Cappy, ground pound jump, down throw while holding Cappy, ground pound, and roll boost. Quick note, make sure to not touch the left control stick until you start the roll, or else this will be wonky. This needs way less space to work, but Joy-Cons are required to do it. For anyone who wants to use this method and play with a Pro-Con, you can pause after doing the down throw on Joy-Cons and switch to Pro-Con. Basic tech. Cap bounces. Cap bounces, often abbreviated as CB, let you bounce off Cappy midair once. Just once. To do this, you need to throw Cappy and dive while holding Wire X. If you do not hold Wire X, Cappy will disappear before Mario can bounce. A good visual indicator for when to dive is to wait until after Mario has completed the little spin animation he does during the cap throw. If Cappy keeps disappearing despite holding Wire X, you can also try throwing and holding Cappy out with Y or X, and then use the other one for the dive. Homing cap throws. Homing cap throws, most often abbreviated as HCT, allow for an increased distance by stalling Mario's height. You can perform them by throwing out Cappy, shaking the controller downwards, and when Cappy returns, pressing A or B to get a rainbow spin. I do want to quickly mention there is the similar sounding term MCCT, often said in tandem. This is technically just motion control cap throw, but is often referring to doing an HCT while throwing Cappy by shaking instead of pressing Wire X. Assisted homing cap throws. Assisted ACTs are when either Cappy gets stopped early from a wall, which lets you home earlier, or when Cappy hits an object that cancels him and makes him return immediately. Both are faster than regular ACTs. For all main server jumps, they are allowed. However, elite server jumps do not normally allow them, so check the jump clip and only do them if it's included in the clip. Triple throws. Another way of speeding up an ACT or MCCT is a triple throw, or TT. A TT is when Cappy is thrown for the third time in quick succession. Mario stalls longer in air, and Cappy homes sooner and quicker. If you want to know specifics about speed, distance, etc. of cap throws, check out Zivler's cap throw analysis video. Vectoring. Vectoring is a technique used to gain speed in midair. Essentially, by going between diagonals 45° on the right and left, we can avoid the speed caps on the individual directions, which allows us to go much faster. You want your attempt to basically look like a zigzag. Here's an example of vectoring. On the left will be displayed a timeline showing the angles I'm holding, as well as when actions are being done. Now, if your attempt looks something like this, then it is called vector switching. It worsens your attempt, and you can see it's not making a zigzag. There are two different directions for vectoring, called right vector and left vector, named after the direction Mario vectors towards. For example, in left vector, you start the jump facing right, but then turn to face the left, throw Cappy to the right, bounce towards the left, etc. In right vector, you start the jump facing left, but turn to face right, throw Cappy to the left, bounce to the right, etc. Many acronyms exist which include vectoring in them, represented via V. For example, TJV is the vectoring of a triple jump, and CBV is the vectoring of cap bounce. As a quick note, while many things in this game can be vectored, Longjumps is one of the few things that cannot be vectored. This means for Longjumps, you want to start off going in a straight direction, and then only start vectoring when you throw Cappy. Roll cancels. Tomji has a great video explaining roll cancels, which I will link in the description, but I will briefly explain how to do them before talking about their application. Roll cancels are performed by inputting the cap throw and then very quickly after pressing jump. You want to aim the cap throw at about 90 degrees from the roll angle to maintain the momentum, and then quickly after the roll cancel, jump to let you change which direction you're going. The two main uses of roll cancels are to be able to perform a triple throw when you want mid-air in triple or long jumps, and to quickly build up speed in a small space. To get the triple throw, you want to first throw Cappy, then ground pound roll, and as soon as Cappy returns, do the roll cancel and hold Y. This will make it so you can immediately triple throw as soon as Cappy returns. For most jumps, you will want to release YX a bit after jumping, but some require you to hold it longer or less. Also, this is sometimes called an RC triple. One other use is restricted to extremely large distance jumps, like Brunchin, where RCing off the edge and then vectoring in a so-called roll cancel vector, or RCV, gives you insane speed. Since you're coming from a roll though, you get no extra height. There are videos about learning this tech on YouTube, however, it is weird and it isn't used much, so it isn't really worth focusing on. Edge, triple, or vault. When someone's talking about edge, triple, or vault, they're talking about how close or far off the edge Mario is when jumping. Ledges have what's known as coyote time, which is basically an extra distance dependent on speed, which Mario can still jump from instead of just falling off. So yes, optimally either Mario or Cappy should be just over the edge when you jump. For edge triple, it's important to note that any extra walking on the ground decreases Mario's speed, so you want to land as close to the edge as you can. Landings. For regular jumps, just landing on an ledge, the sign for a landing is the white particles that show up. So yes, even if you strangely get a vault as you land, it still counts. Another weird thing that can happen though, which is divided on, is sometimes when you land on slopes, you can get this roll bonk, where basically you land and bonk at the same time, but there are white particles. This is called a partial land. Most jumps that this can happen on allow them, but there are some exceptions which specify you need full landing. Some other landings or endings exist, but they are pretty self-explanatory. For example, collecting a moon, overshooting a ledge, hitting a cactus, etc. Warps. Warps are an interaction between Mario and walls, floors, etc. They are useful, but we do not have a full understanding of them yet, and therefore we are basically relying on luck. Up warps and forward warps are the most useful for making jumps generally. When Mario has yet to warp, but could potentially warp to make a jump, it is called a range. Bonk %. When Mario bonks, a circle appears. We can use that circle to roughly see how close we are to making it by looking at the percentage which is fully in the air. For anyone wondering, this is why we often snapshot at the end of jumps. Since the bonk circle doesn't stay long, and sometimes it's hard to see, we can use the pause state to better see it. The bonk percent for ranges is generally from 90 to 95%. However, it can go as low as 80 and as high as 99 on specific jumps. Stronger and weaker. When someone is giving help and they say, for example, stronger X, they are saying to aim more left or right depending on the direction it should be. For example, I'm in an attempt and I throw Cappy 30 degrees to our right. If someone tells me stronger Capthrow, I know that I need to throw Cappy further right and closer to 45 degrees. Another word for stronger that's sometimes used is wider. When someone says weaker X, they are saying to aim more towards straight ahead. Assist mode. Yes, it is generally actually beneficial for us to play in assist mode. This is because falling in the void, lava, or poison puts you in a bubble and brings you back to the starting position quickly or near it. Another benefit of assist mode is you get extra health and it regenerates, meaning you can do more attempts in less time. Relax Tech. Relax Tech, which is often just called Relax, is a highly advanced tech which can help you to make jumps, but as a beginner, you should not focus on learning it. If you've gone to Master Elite tier vaults, then you should have enough skill to safely learn it. I will link my tutorial for it in the description. As a quick note, anytime someone is not using Relax, it is called Relaxless. Snapshot Buffering. One final thing I want to quickly mention is Snapshot Buffering, often just abbreviated as SP. Just like Relax, you should not focus on learning it as a beginner. This is because Snapshot only helps to improve consistency with very specific things which only really matter at a higher level. Now here's a list of a lot of Trickjumping terms and acronyms. Most of these I did say in the video, but I will quickly go through them. TJ can stand for Trick Jump or Triple Jump, LJ is Long Jump, WJ is Wall Jump, GP is Ground Pound, GPJ is Ground Pound Jump, V can stand for Vault or Vector in acronyms, UDV is Up Down Vault, NV is Normal Vault, CBV is Cap Bounce Vector, CTV is Capthrow Vector, TJV is Triple Jump Vector, VV is Vault Vector, RV is Right Vector, LV is Left Vector, UW is Up Warp, FW is Forward Warp, DW is Down Warp, SW is Side Warp, Beans is jumping from behind a ledge or obstacle, OS is overshooting a platform or ledge, Boundaries is the general area in which you can start and end a jump, Roll is a trick jump on a server with a difficulty or name, Buffering is inputting a jump or cat throw slightly earlier than it can actually occur to get it on the first frame possible. Founder is who originally discovered a jump. Prover is who first successfully did a jump. CT is cap throw. HCT is homing cap throw, throwing cappy, shaking to come back quicker, and then rainbow spinning. MCT is motion control cap throw and often refers to doing an ACT with two shakes. UT is an up throw. SD is a spin throw. TT is a triple throw. CB is a cap bounce. Spinless is no ACT or rainbow spin. Symbol Tech is just doing a rainbow spin and a cap bounce, no ACT or NCCT. RC is a roll cancel. RCB is a roll cancel vector, which is the jump time. RC triple is RCing after a CT to get a TT midair. SB is Snapshot Buffer. Relax is Relax Tech. And Relaxless is a normal ACT or NCCT, or just not using Relax Tech. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, you can always comment or ask on the Trickjumping Discord. Have fun jumping!